So apparently Jim Breuer discussed flat Earth with like this, like a couple of um, people in my sphere, honestly, like anti-flat earthers, physicists and stuff, YouTubers that I'd probably know, but I don't think that they're like super big yet. They're on their way up, I guess. Um, MC Toon and this other dude, Craig, I think his name is. And their whole mission right now is to like prove that Flat Earth Dave is a charlatan, a grifter, a scam artist. And apparently he made an app. I was unfamiliar with this app. It's a flat earth app and it has massive security problems I didn't know about. So anyway, Jim Breuer, who went after me at one point in his podcast, you can listen to me take it apart if you want on Unfiltered. Just search for Breuer. Anyway, he went after me on his podcast once, and now he's got these guys on to talk about Flat Earth Dave fascinatingly. So, yeah, let's give this a listen, see what they have to say. All
right. If it doesn't matter, if I became best friends with the president, he's download it, even though I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not downloading it.
We just thought it was important. Whether or not you believe in the flat Earth, it's highly important that your information isn't out there like that. And if someone that has watched your channel did download that and used their password in that they happen to use for other things, it's vitally important that they change their passwords on absolutely everything, like immediately.
Well, let me ask you this. Because Craig and MC Toon, you seem very, I'll say right now the word concerned.
Yeah.
So what's the deal here? Is Jim Breuer trying to like moderate a conversation or moderate a connection between like these guys and Flat Earth Dave? Is that what's happening right now?
Do you think there's what do you think the true motive is? Because I'm going to assume.
Do you want me to be candid? I'll be as absolutely honest as you like. Right. MC Toon will completely agree with this. For Dave Weiss, it's because it's a grift. It's a scam. I am 100% convinced that Dave Weiss knows the Earth is not flat, but he has made money and a following selling his app and telling people the Earth is flat.
I don't know. I'm not convinced of that. I think the vast majority of people that believe this nonsense or purport to, I think they really do. I don't know about Flat Earth Dave. I don't follow him closely enough to know that for sure. But like Anna Kasparian, I don't believe it's a grift. I think she's a real true believer. Same with Dave Rubin. I think that the people who send them billions of dollars collectively, Russia and stuff, are doing it because they're saying the things that they want them to say, not the other way around. They're not saying things that Russia wants them to say because they're getting paid. It's the other way, Dr. Hayes thinks that Dave Weiss is a grifter 100%. Interesting. Okay. Again, I don't watch him enough to know, so.
And he can't stop that now because he told you himself he quit his job. He changed his life to do this. He's so deep into it that no matter what, he can't stop doing it. Toon, would you agree with that?
Yeah, he 100. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that, which I thought was very interesting. I thought that was interesting as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if I think that he's convinced one way or the other, but I think it may be a little bit of a psychological blockage to not acknowledge it. The app that is his app uses the globe for everything. The friend finder thing where you can see everybody's position, that's a Google map. Everything about that is the globe. It uses the tilt of the Earth inside the app. It uses the time that the sun will set and rise based on globe geometry. So everything about the app related to the shape of the Earth is globe Earth based.
That's interesting.
If it were really a flat Earth,
like, what is this app? I don't know what this is. Sounds fascinating.
He would insist on only using flat Earth knowledge and flat Earth geometry to build the app. He would get that from flat Earth researchers and give that information to the developer so that they could.
Did Bro just ironically say flat Earth researchers? I get it.
The app using only flat Earth knowledge, but he did not.
No.
Let me ask you. All right, offbeat question. Is there, besides him, people that have brought this, they say, no, I'm telling you right now, it's definitely, this is why we think it's flat. Are there people that you've seen out there go, you know what? That's an interesting case, and this person really means it, and they're really coming from a place that makes a lot of sense, although I highly disagree, and this is why I disagree.
I believe the vast majority of flat earthers believe it. Actually, outright believe it.
Do you mean that is there people that are actually genuine about the flat earth? Yeah,
yes.
I think there is some
with really good facts or
not that honestly.
No, I mean it's probably like fact based for them, but the facts are like piss poor.
There's no good facts around the flat earth. There is nothing that, if you look at, holds up to scrutiny. And that is the main crux of why Toon and I are here. We really want to go through some of the things that Dave said to you, which on first observation and first listen with kind of, a passing interest might seem like they make sense. But once we explain the very basic reasons why they're a lie, we hope that you will see that the only way you can really give facts about the flat earth is if you lie about what facts are.
Got you. So you're 100%, absolutely no way, impossible. It's not going down, no matter who comes out and tries to put that.
That's correct. No, flat earth is not real. It just isn't. That's just what it is. Like, Jim Breuer seems to be playing like the enlightened centrist in this situation, right? And there are some things on which enlightened centrism is fucking ridiculous. There's no reason to believe that enlightened centrism is worth anything. Flat Earth, the neutral position with flat Earth is I don't know, but the correct position is science-based. We do know is the thing. So the neutral position is we don't know. The correct position is it's a globe. Because of all the evidence we have, if you wanted to claim otherwise, you would have to not just come with evidence that your side was correct, but come with evidence to contradict the other side's evidence, the globe Earth's evidence. You wouldn't be able to just like claim it all willy-nilly.
Okay.
For me, I've measured the Earth's rotation. MC Toon has measured the curvature of the Earth. These are experiments that are done all of the time by every physics student in the world that has a bachelor's degree has to do an experiment called Foucault's pendulum to measure the rotation of the Earth. It's part of at least in the UK and the US, the measuring the rotation of the Earth, the fact that it moves and it's a sphere is something that
I feel like this guy's hair leaves something to be desired.
Is, kind of fundamental to a lot of physics that we understand. Fire and things like that, they take into account the rotation of the Earth, and these are things that people like Flat Earth Dave will either ignore or just lie about, and that's why MC Toon and I, we fight so hard against what we
MC Toon, is that what he said? MC Toon, is that his name? Again, first time hearing of him, so interesting.
Consider dangerous misinformation and sometimes absolute hilarious stupidity.
Yeah, that's why I cover this shit, because it's hilarious stupidity. I'm so fucking entertained by this shit, dude.
There's a lot of laughing.
Right, Jim, I want to tell you just before we get into the weeds, one of the first times I spoke to a flat earther was a guy that called himself Flat Earth Jesus, right? And he told
Okay, Flat Earth Jesus, huh?
me, unironically, that the moon was dug out of the Grand Canyon by giants, then it was melted into quartz. When it was still hot, they filled it with helium. That's why there's craters on it, because it was bubbles popping. And then they put it in the sky to mock us for worshipping the sun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people actually believe this nonsense. They actually buy this shit. However, cases like that, I suspect that rather than actually believing this nonsense, I think things like that are just absolutely out there and ridiculous are probably them trying to make some kind of a ridiculous point that our understanding of the universe is just as ridiculous, even though it's not, and it's science-based. But anyway, yeah.
He told me that whilst calling me stupid. This is flat Earth for you.
This is great pub talk, too. I would love to hear that.
There's another guy that thinks that the moon used to be a dog's chew toy, a giant a mythical dog. That guy's name is Why You're an Idiot, or just you call him by his surname, Mr. Idiot.
That's good. I like that.
But don't you think they just kind of? Don't you think that's also just someone trying to make money or trying to get attention or trying to get?
No, I don't think so. Honestly, I think the vast majority of these people are genuine believers, and they're in these positions not because they're grifting, but because they actually believe this shit. Truthfully, I really think that. After being on YouTube for 10 years, I think most of these people are in it because they believe it.
Or something like that.
Neither of those guys.
No, neither of those were in a position to actually make money out of what they do. They're not popular enough, but they still say these things with all the conviction in their soul. So,
yeah, go ahead.
I chose 5 things, and Toon chose 5 things.
Okay.
And we just want, they won't take long to go through them. It's because the fact is, the lies are very simple to debunk. So I'd like to give the floor to Toon first to start it off with whatever one of Dave's things that he said and how easy it is to debunk.
All right.
Okay.
So he talked about the Battle of the Beams, Knikabine.
You know how we can tell that we went to the moon, for example, and that things are like round rather than flat? The cosmonauts, this is a pretty convincing one for me. The cosmonauts were racing us to the moon, right? Like the USSR is racing us to the moon. And if anybody had a vested interest in proving that we didn't go or doubting us in our claim that we went, it'd be them, right? That's why the moon landers put the astronauts, they put mirrors on the moon, gigantic mirrors that you can point a laser at on the ground here on Earth and like get a reflection back and get like, get a signal. You need sensitive equipment to do it, of course, but there are a few facilities around the U.S. and around the world, actually, that can do this. That you just go visit and they'll show you. That's how we proved it to the cosmonauts. These people that believe in the flat Earth, they just don't want to have it proved, is the problem. They just don't want it to be proved, period.
Or 2. So it's Knikabine. There's no R in it. Just be aware of that. It was these super powerful, very tall in the beam construction. So when you make a radio wave, you can construct the propagation to be tall, wide, circular. So it was a super tall beam that was sent across from Germany into England.
Okay, to send out airwaves.
Yeah, and then another beam was sent elsewhere, and then where they intersected was where they were supposed to drop the bombs over Dover. So this is in England. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So he talked about.
Now is that true?
Why the fuck would he say it if he didn't believe it were true? Why are you even asking? All right, whatever.
It was marginally successful, but it was.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So Dave didn't think. He didn't think it was possible, and so I want to play his little part here because it's pretty good. I'm gonna. All right, Craig, you go first. I'll have to rearrange.
Go ahead, Craig.
Okay. All right, I'll go first. All right, no worries.
So here's a balloon, 120,000 feet in the air. That's about.
This is Flat Earth Dave. Again, like when you get big enough and influential enough as a flat earther on the internet, like Flat Earth Dave, for example. Rich and powerful people will offer to take you up into a balloon or into like a, low Earth orbit type of place to prove to you that you're wrong. Because, this style of entertainment is really entertaining to all sorts of people. And people that you wouldn't expect follow me. Like, I'm just some dude with almost 500,000 subscribers. Patton Oswalt follows me. A wrestler that has wrestled with The Rock in the ring follows me and spoke to me, like talked to me on Twitter. We talk every now and then, not very often anymore, but we've talked a few times on Twitter. Like I'm just some dude out here and very, very famous and influential people talk to me.